What's up guys, and welcome to a walkthrough video of our brand new instrument, Unity Nostalgic Synth. Unity Nostalgic Synth is an innovative blend of vintage hardware synth, foley textures, real organic instruments, and modern effects processing in a 3-sound source engine that adds an instant wave of nostalgia. The instrument is designed to provide instant inspiration with 350 thoughtfully produced samples and 300 unique presets that recreates that magic sounds from the 80s. All sounds were designed by AV artist and sound designer Yann Marchadour. His unique sound design style and songwriting skills has caught the attention of top executives from major labels like Universal Music, Sony Music, Polydor, and many other established independent artists. This video will show you all the powerful features of the instruments, but if you're eager to listen to some preset demos or sound design examples, head over to our website, link in the description. So without further ado, let's jump in. Alright, so just like our previous Unity edition, the main page is designed with efficiency in mind, aiming to spark inspiration instantly. We've included all the essential effects and features right here, allowing you to discover inspiring sounds within seconds. Speaking of inspiration, we've recently added a dice mode here on the top right that allows you to create new random sounds from an algorithm we developed. We added multiple conditions to the algorithm so that every time you hit the dice, you get a very unique and distinctive sound combination. On this page, you'll notice 3 distinct ADSR shapes that represent the individual sound sources. The first one in red is dedicated for the classic synthesizer sounds, which we sampled from iconic hardware synth like Mini Moog, Yamaha DX7, Roland Juno 106, Roland Jupiter 8, OP1, Poly D, and many more. You can see those as your foundation tones that will give you that instant 80s sound. The orange source will help you enhance your sound with real organic instruments like pianos, violins, guitars, and bass, adding an extra layer of depth and power. Lastly, the yellow source is here to finalize your sound with organic foley textures recorded purposely to add width and dimension to your sounds. By the way, all the sound categories I just mentioned are not locked to specific sound sources. That way you have full freedom over the sounds you want to blend together. As you can see on the ADSR shapes, there are sliders that allow you to directly set your sound envelopes from this main page. The first slider on the left represents the attack. The closer you are to the bottom, the shorter the attack is. Then follows decay, sustain, and release. For each sound sources, you have individual volume sliders, a sample selection, and FX sends. Each FX chains include distortion, reverb, delay, movement, and filter. Simply click on the icons to navigate between different effects and turn the knob to add more or less of each effect. You can also easily bypass the different sound sources to hear them individually. Once you're happy with your sound selection, this identity pad will help you define a perfect balance between the 3 sound sources. Simply direct the point towards the color you want to accentuate the sound. And notice we added colors on the summit of the triangle so you know which sound source you're auditioning. On the far left, you have an assignable mod wheel that offers multiple functions. The first default mode does not have any function on it, so you can assign any parameters you want. The second one is a classic low-pass filter. And the third one lets you blend the different sound sources directly from the mod wheel. The lowest position will play back the red sound source. The middle position will play back the red and orange sound source. And the highest position will let you hear all the sound sources together. You can use this feature to quickly create variation and intensity of the overall sound. For example, at the lowest position here, I have my basic sound, but the more I push the mod wheel, the thicker it sounds. Finally, the select mode will let you play back individual sound sources based on the mod wheel position. The first third of the mod wheel range will play back the red source. The second third will play back the orange one, and the last part will play back the yellow source only. Now on the far right, this yellow icon will give you the extra boost of the overall sound with tube compression and tube distortion. You can directly increase or decrease the intensity of this master effect by clicking and dragging your mouse up or down. If you want more control on this master effect, click on the attitude title to open up the page, but we'll come back to that later. Now that we covered all the principal features, let's get into the advanced settings where you can truly sound design any sound you want. Click on the shape icon to open up the page. Notice on the top right, we still have the dice mode available so you can spark inspiration directly within this page. You can see that each sound sources are represented into 3 different sections. Here on the left, you can see everything related to the first sound source, starting with the sample selection. Click on the icon to open the sample browser, scroll up or down to find a category you like, and click on the sample to load it. You can also click the next or previous arrow to browse the different sound categories directly from the default window. We also added panoramic on every sound source so you can have more control over the spatialization. Next going up is the filter section. You can either access the essential filter parameters from this window by clicking the next or previous arrow, or click on the icon to open up the filter focus page. And lastly, on the top section, you'll find all the effects. This includes distortion, reverb, delay, movement, and all the ADSR settings. We also predefined ADSR settings based on Ian most used settings. One of the big advantages of this instrument is that most of the reverb were specifically created for this edition and modeled after iconic hardware like Strymon Big Sky, JFI Specular Tempest, and other classic reverb from the 80s. Of course, every effect could be bypassed for a quick A/B testing. Now, coming back to the Attitude page, you can simply click on the Attitude button to open up the page. The Attitude FX will bring the 3 sound sources together by adding compression and harmonics to your overall sound. It kind of acts as a glue, very subtle, but this will instantly bring cohesion to your overall sound. It will also add warmth thanks to a nice tube distortion. Of course, you can always exaggerate the settings to have an additional distorted effect. The middle slider will affect the amount of effects you want to add to your sound. The more you push it, the more effects you have, and the lowest position will bypass the effects. You can fine-tune your settings by adjusting the input volume, attack, release, saturation amount, and character. That's it, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below, and we'll try our best to respond to all questions.